What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Blade Dragons podcast. I am here with some lovely Baytubers or other people in this community that you want to establish us with. And we like to talk about spinny tops sometimes, but today we're going to talk about some animals. This is going to be the Blade Dragon Zoo Edition. We go into archaeology this time, so we're going to dig up some old ancient shells, and I think they might have a tint of color to them. What's this Beyblade called, guys?
It's called Black Shell.
Black Shell.
Perfect.
Dude, I swear Elliot's powered by ChatGPT sometimes. Straight up AI hallucinations.
It was going so well. I thought you had this.
Beyblade Zoo Edition. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, why'd you say zoo, man?
We're talking about animals.
Oh my god. That was alright. So
We're not
before,
talking about spin tops.
before ChatGPT takes over the podcast, we're gonna talk about this lovely Beyblade called Black Shell. This is our Draciel stand, and if it wasn't obvious, I mean, literally, just look at this. It looks like, I think, what, Draciel F.
Man, why are
Either
you the
F
off-brand
or
disrespect?
HMS.
Yeah, I think F or HMS, yeah.
Seal MS.
Yeah, we can see here, if we go to that, and then Draciel MS.
Why is Metal the low-budget Doctor disrespect right now?
Shut up. So...
Dr. Respect right here.
Dr. Respect. I like
Dr.
that.
Respecto.
Dr. Respect. I gotta do that. Alright, so we've got, so you can see here, it's got the sort of 8-pointed, like, shell design on Dragoon F and Dragoon MS, and then we got
Draciel.
that pretty much. Draciel.
Draciel.
Sorry. Draciel.
Cobalt Draciel.
Cobalt Draciel. That's what we're talking about today. No. But, yeah, so we've got Black Shell. This is our Draciel stand-in. One thing that I really like about this is, now we're getting the triangle in, you know, like the old Bakuten triangle logo design from Japan, and also I think they did kind of carry that a little bit into the American way, but it is kind of here on the shell, but it is also like just the entire like outline of the metal, or I guess like the inside outline is the same shape as well, which I think is pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got this. I think this looks fantastic. You know, I've always been scared of how this would handle in battle. I've seen like these get broken off so easily. Never fear anymore, because we've got a Draciel that's not gonna break so easily, hopefully. It does look very good. I do like the design. Of course, it is inspired, and this Beyblade looks absolutely fantastic. It is on some new parts. I think it's what 560. I think they called it. I forgot what they called the bit.
So it's on 460,
Oop.
and the bit is called Dot.
Dot.
That is a stupid name. I'm gonna be real. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Let's see if we have an image. Yes, we do have an image of it. So this is Dot. This is the bit. It is needle. Now it kind of looks like ball a little, but it is needle. And it's got the spikes on it, just like the needle from Burst, as well as Jog Ball from Metal Fight, which is super cool. I do like that this is on a defense type, keeping the tradition there. So you know those spikes are gonna... Actually, these might not wear out as quick. Might be more like even with how they do, since it's a needle-shaped bit. But it is a defense bit, so it doesn't have the extra res on it for burst resistance. But I think this is a pretty handsome-looking Beyblade. I'm gonna throw it to, I guess, Juice.
Yeah, it looks immaculate. It's probably one of my personal favorites. Not only because, you know, green and black, good color scheme. It's Draciel. Draciel's my favorite from Plastic Gen. Not the biggest fan of the avatar itself, though. I feel like it could have been a little bit better. The blade looks like it's going to be very heavy recoil. To me, it looks like a sturdy boy. The bit, the bit. It was Dot, right? I don't know how to feel about it. I feel icky. I feel uncomfortable looking at it. I don't like the little dots. Like, everyone was saying the same thing, and then I looked at it, like, with the better images when they came out. I don't like that. That looks really off to me. And apparently, there's a Metal Fight performance tip that looks like that, right?
Jog ball,
Yeah,
baby.
jog ball.
Yeah, here's what it looks like.
Yeah,
Look
well,
at that. Oh!
that looks even sharper than the other images.
Yeah, you can definitely tell.
Yeah, but
shape.
I just don't like the look of it. But other than that, it looks really nice. Solid blade. I love the Bakuten whole design of that for the symbol, like being the blade itself. I feel like the actual symbol on its shell could have been a lot more clearer. It just looks the worst out of the lot, but you know, we can't win them all. You have to have some pros and cons to this.
Yeah.
It looks so nice.
I'm definitely a little bit mixed. I like the idea of it a lot, right? So I'm a bit of the inverse. Like I think Draciel is probably my least favorite from I guess like the Sacred Beasts, right? Because if I look at like how the Bay, if you think about how the Bay is going to perform, which is kind of what I was really thinking of when it came to Cobalt Dragoon, this I'm going to say right now is not going to be good. Okay, defense types in Beyblade X aren't great. Rhino Horn isn't great, and it had the same sort of jagged design. I mean, if this has some heft to it, sure, but we do see it from like a side view, and it has seemingly like the Shinobi Shadow treatment, where it looks like there's a lot of metal on top, but as soon as you look at it from the side, it's like pretty light and pretty like hollowed out, right? So it's definitely going to be fun to have for like collection purposes. And the idea of it's really cool. I love the color scheme too. The kind of like the black and green is nice. But I definitely don't think it's going to be setting the world on fire when it comes to actually using it. The 460 ratchet's like a throwaway. They just had to go with probably the worst ratchet possible, or one of them. You know, 480 might be worse, whatever. But and then Dot. Okay, so Dot looks like, if you guys have ever seen Yo Gabba Gabba, it looks like Muno.
It does.
Muno from Yo Gabba Gabba.
That's a classic.
So
Holy God.
now you're dating yourself, Jake. You thought I dated myself.
Yeah, so it's the kind of the studded look, which I can make another joke for that, but I won't. You know.
But you should.
It makes me uncomfortable.
I mean, the joke is right there. It's
It's.
It makes me uncomfortable, and I've talked about it in my YouTube video, and people were saying it's this thing called trypophobia, which is an aversion to like clusters, like small holes, bumps. This really isn't as bad as some of the examples if you look it up. It's like if it was a ball shape, which it kind of looks like a ball here, right? But then you see it from the side and it's a needle, and needles, some people swear by needle, dude, just like some people swear by Night Shield, but I'm going to stand by the fact that it's straight up garbage, okay? It's not good. Anybody who says needle is good probably thinks a San Francisco Giants Beyblade is coming up soon, okay? It is not good, okay? That's you have to watch another episode of the podcast to know what I'm talking about there. Some deep lore.
Shots.
But the idea of it is cool. Okay. But then the rest of the random booster has some really cool stuff in it. So if you're someone who's buying the full set, while the prize bay may not give you the same value, if you care about like performance and whatever, if the Draciel, it being basically Draciel, has no effect on you at all and you don't care, then this prize bay I think is going to be a disappointment to you. But the rest of the random booster does have some cool stuff, and we'll get into that later. Also, the turtle is a little bit late. It's kind of cool, but it looks like a turtle, unlike Draciel, which is like a turtle idea, but it was kind of standing up and it was armored. This is a straight up Galapagos turtle or tortoise. Okay.
Yeah. I do like the red eyes that they gave it though. Sorry, go ahead, Elliot. My bad.
One of the coolest things is that so we've now seen two significant callouts. We got Dragoon and Draciel. We've gotten the Vice Tiger, and we were speculating the Phoenix Wing. So in theory, we are going to get two brand new renditions of like these Beyblades. But one thing that I pointed out in one of my Draciel videos is that every Draciel has turtle heads on the blade, And if you could see here on the blade, there's actually 4 turtle heads. So that is a direct callback to the Draciel blades, which I thought was so funny that I didn't even realize that as a kid. I was like, they made turtle heads on all these blades. They just look like weird trapezoid type designs. But I think that's a really sick design that they're doing direct callbacks. It's probably gonna battle similar to like Rhino Horn, kind of. I think they got a similar kind of design with the amount of sides. I hope it has a little bit of heft to it, but I think the Bit Beast design, or the Avatar, is that what they're called? The Avatars still? Is that what they are?
Gear I don't know. Does it have a name? Gear chip motif is what I call it, but that's because I don't think it has a cool name like that.
I just call it the Avatar or
Yeah.
the Bit Beast.
Yeah, I still call it the Bit Beast, but it's not as bad as some of the others. I still think Tyrannobeat is kind of clapped. I think I think Draw. I don't know what some other ones are pretty weird. But I think this one fits the motif good enough. This is the lowest ratchet we've had. It's a 40, you said?
No, it's 460. 460.
Oh,
it's just 4-sided 60 ratchet.
Okay, well, never mind. That's obviously nothing.
They
But
could've
yeah,
given
it should be fun. Should be fun. The weird bit is gross. It's gonna sound more. It's gonna sound like gear flat. It's gonna be like just a weird. And
yeah, the way that it sounds
similar to Quake. It's gonna have some weird, unpredictable, weird stuff happen or something.
I don't like that they called it Dot. I think that's a stupid name. They should have called it Jog.
Dots.
Although
I don't like they call it Dot.
Name.
They should call it what they called it in Metal Fight, is what you just said. Of course, Metal Tops would say that. Wow. Least surprising Metal Tops news of the day.
Also, Metal, when you were like circling around the bay earlier, the yellow one right at front was the same bay that you could have looked at earlier.
Oh,
in
God.
the IRL images. Yeah, this one looks
yeah.
awful. I'm not a fan of this.
You know, it's just a trend with these random boosters where the alternate bay is like a really goopy color.
It's
like,
always
this
yellow.
This is like what, the 5th or 6th stupid piss colored Beyblade we'd have. And they thought they were clever.
It's like the identical.
Yeah, it looks stupid. I hate these.
And they've done it with random boosters where like Shark Edge had a yellow Shark Edge, Wyvern Gale had a yellow Wyvern Gale.
Yeah,
Viper
Tyranno only had the green one.
Tyranno
Yeah,
had the
but
green
the green
one, but that
was
still looked
nasty too,
disgusting,
but not as
yeah.
bad.
What?
Yeah.
It's
The green Tyranno's not good. It has no depth to it. It looks like it looks like the inside of an avocado, okay?
Yeah.
It has no
You just have
extra
no
like
taste.
He's cutting onions.
Taste me juice. It looks disgusting.
Huh?
Don't,
Wait.
we're moving on.
Huh?
So
Pause?
next up, we've got this
Pause?
red. Shush. We've got this red unicorn sting, which I think this looks pretty sick. He looks pretty
It
angry
does.
here. This is a nice recolor. I think this is a bit better than
hell
the red
uni.
Lane Claw. I think this is a bit
The unicorn
better.
looks furious.
Yeah, this looks
With the red, it looks like it's about to actually ram somebody through the heart.
Am I
and take their
colorblind or is
eternal
this? I need to see a
orange.
real life picture of this. This is not red. This is orange, right?
It's
I
a
don't
reddish
know. I've got
orange.
I've got these dope ass shades on, so I can't really tell the colors too well. But
Oh, it looks kind of red there.
yeah, I think it is.
like the
Yeah,
Land
it's like
Claw
a
color.
it's like a hot
Yeah.
orange.
yeah, it's a very light, or like a hot red orange, I guess.
Oh my
It looks
gosh,
way
that Tron
better in
dagger
the
looks
physical.
Weird.
Yeah, I do like the physical one better. It is pretty cool though. I forgot what it's on, but who cares? So next up, we've got Grape Viper. But it's all right. I don't mind it.
Hopefully,
Yeah,
it's
I said
more colorful than like dark, like some of the other ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
really
like,
quick.
black.
Really quick. For the parts on Unicorn, it is on the 370 ratchet, so it's the same ratchet that was on Hell's Hammer, and
Solid
it has
ratchet.
a reprint of Dot. I assume in either yellow or red, or this orangish red color.
Okay, that's not too bad. And then
Eh.
yeah.
This is on 570, so the ratchet from Wizard Rod and Dot.
Of course. Got a
I
lot
was
of
saying
dots for
this one should have been Wyvern Gale, on Mim stream, and then Ilonok yelled at me and said no.
Yeah, because we need to leave Wyvern Gale in the past, okay?
It's
Wyvern
terrible.
Gale is one of the most nothing, one of the most nothing releases.
But it's cool.
Our man.
We have enough Viper Tails. I thought like just giving Wyvern Gale one more blade would.
I also kind of
be
mistook
nice.
what you were saying. I thought you were saying you wanted Wyvern Gale in the booster, but if we're replacing Viper Tail with Wyvern Gale, then maybe. I guess
Yeah.
I just wasn't really paying attention.
Well, I mean, it'd still be
Yeah.
in the booster, but yeah.
Yeah, a purple Wyvern Gale. I would rather have that than a purple Viper Tail. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I meant.
I will concede.
Viper Tail is turning into the new Wizard Arrow of being in every booster. But regardless, we're just gonna.
It's
jump.
still nice. Like, not
We-
to take it away
We
from
have
it, it
another
still looks
stupid
nice.
Wizard Bay in a random
Al,
booster. We
I am
can.
No, wrong.
I'm sick of you and your opinions, my good friend. I'm sick
Me? Shut up.
Just sick of you.
Yes!
Period.
Shut
Your
up.
opinions. Period.
Shut up, Captain. This shit is
This-
disgusting.
It looks
No, it's
amazing
not.
in the
No, it's
IRL
not.
pictures. It's different.
Go to the
Like,
IRL.
That
Go to
is
the
cap.
IRL.
That
It's
is
the shark
cap.
head.
Go to the IRL.
That is cap.
It looks
Look,
Monster
it
energy,
looks
bro.
terrible.
Come on.
Dude, it looks.
It looks
No, it
better than
doesn't.
the render. It looks
no,
better
no,
than the
it does
render.
not. No, it does not. I disagree heavily.
Yes, it does.
No.
Take
Metal,
off
do you
those
have the
fucking
shark
shades,
edge?
sir.
No.
Take off those goddamn shades and look at it properly.
It kind of glows. I wish
It
in the
looks-
render when
It.
in my first video I talked about it, I did not like it, okay? Because I thought it was just going to be a flat greenish color, okay? But that
Right.
definitely made it a lot better looking, in my opinion.
It looks
Why
like
do we
this
want
shit.
Thomas?
It looks like this.
It
No,
does not
it
look like
doesn't.
that.
It
That is
doesn't.
that's a
It
different
No, no,
green.
no, no,
Not
no,
even
no.
similar.
Look at the edge. Look
That-
at the edges, right where the prongs are for it, and that like outer color. It looks like
Yeah, neon green.
yeah, it looks like this
That's
shit.
an accent. It's an accent.
No,
color.
no, because the types of plastics are like different. Like this is like a
Not
what is
even
it? Not opaque. It's like a
translucent.
translucent.
It still looks.
And it kind of has this glow effect. The other one looked like a dumpster
Metal.
green,
Do you
okay?
have the shark, the Blahaj shark? It's the same exact color.
I
Right?
don't even know where my Beyblades are right now.
It's
The
every
original
color
images
we
we
see.
got before the renders, it looked more yellow, which is what everyone hated it for. But now,
yeah. I thought it was
having
like
the
vomit
renders and then
color.
yeah,
I don't
now,
even
now
know
the
where
renders
my
and the
Beyblades
IRL
are.
images, it just looks so much better.
I also will not stand for Wizard Rod slander because Wizard
True.
Arrow is garbage. Sure, we got tired of it. Wizard Rod is literally the best blade in the game by
Mhm.
far. So getting a reprint of it, especially with the parts it comes on 160, which say what you will. Some people are starting to like it. I'm seeing people in Japan starting to use it. I think Zenki talked about the same thing. But we're also getting, praise the Takara gods, our first reprint of the Rush bit,
Yes.
sir.
which is like the hardest bit to
Oh.
get in the entire game.
I hate it.
Only available
behind a
in
pad.
either,
Yeah.
yeah, it's only in the Dran Dagger set, which is really hard to come by. I've seen people on Japanese Twitter be going to their shops to look for it, but it's like always sold out.
Wow.
And for the Hasbro side, the Extreme Battle set, which is like
Mhm.
$50. So
You gotta
getting
pay a
it in
lot
this
for it.
random booster,
And
combined
behind
with
it-
Wizard Rod, is beast.
And behind it, we get another good bit, Blue Hex.
Yeah, we're getting.
Oh, yeah.
X on that. What is that?
That's
oh,
on
that's on the
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Yeah. Anyways, let's
Mhm.
stop arguing. Let's talk about Phoenix. I will say I do like this color.
Fire.
This is a.
It's
this
so
is
I'm,
nice.
a
mixed. I'm
very
mixed.
Sick.
I'm mixed.
good- I kind of like how it looks a little
I'm biased.
watery.
I hate blue.
It's like, wow. It says you with the blue lights in the background.
I hate blue. Blue is not any color that I associate my life with.
This is
Wait.
metal right here. This is metal.
The
this
shade-
is
the
this straight up
shades
metal.
block his
Just
brain.
this straight up just
Shades block the
swoosh.
brain.
So for this, I like it. I am opposite to what Elliot said earlier in the Dragoon section. I am okay with parts being painted kind of right out the gate. Yeah, if you scrape them, it makes them look ugly, whatever, okay? But buying this Phoenix by itself, like if it wasn't painted, or if it was painted like straight out of the random booster, buying two versions of that would be cheaper than them doing their special BX00 painted release. And I'd rather just be painted. And if it gets scuffed, it gets scuffed. But it'd be nice to have a red painted Phoenix and then a blue painted Phoenix. It just would have been kind of cool. But the blue is nice. I think blue is really overdone in Beyblade. Same with red. Some people got onto me for that because it seems like I don't like any color. Like I don't like yellow. I'm not the biggest fan of green. Red and blue is overdone. So basically, unless the bay is like black or purple or pink, I don't really like it as much.
Representing the purple.
Because we don't really get enough of those, and we don't get enough mainline purples. You know,
we really don't.
Or like I like the unicorn sting kind of tealish blue color. That was cool.
That's sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we get the same shades of red and blue all the time, especially in Burst. And maybe it's because Burst kind of ruined me to that. But every release, I swear to God, was blue. Okay.
Yeah.
But it looks cool. The little yellow beak is nice.
Yeah, sort of green talons too.
Yeah.
Kind of make it stand out a bit. Yeah, I think it's all right.
And the rest of the combo is good too, with 580 and Hexa, which Hexa is in that top tier.
Oh, it's Hexa.
Paired with Wizard Rod, at least.
Yeah, so this would be a decent. Yeah, you get some decent stuff in this booster.
It's a solid set.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the colors of everything. Like the Tyranno Beat one, I think was better in terms of visuals. You know, I liked that orange Dran dagger because I liked how it wasn't the translucent plastic. It made it kind of unique. And then, sorry, my Discord froze for a second, so I was like, what's happening? The Rhino Horn purple, whatever, you can throw that away. The blue Hell's Chain was kind of cool. It seems like every single random booster, we're getting the same colors of things, just different bays. Yeah. Right? Green, blue, purple. You know, it's like we're getting Power Rangers every random booster.
This might be a very hot take, but way earlier when X was coming out, I was chatting with one of my friends who I met through Metal Fight over a decade ago, and he said that he didn't like the way that the Beyblade X designs are. He said that they don't have a lot of soul, unlike, you know, some of the previous gens, and at the time I disagreed with him, but as we've gone on with Beyblade X, I'm starting to I'm understanding where he's coming from, because maybe it's just the fact that a lot of stuff gets re-released in boosters and deck sets and whatnot, but overall the colors that they're choosing, a lot of them are very samey. We're getting a lot of blues, we're getting a lot of reds, we've gotten too many yellows, there's a fair amount of purples now, and I mean, we've seen a pretty decent amount of greens and blacks even. I think white right now is probably the most unique that we've seen. I'd say like Vice Tiger and maybe Rhino are like the only two real white candidates out there.
Sphinx Cow got white.
Yeah, Sphinx Cow too, but I mean that's like 3 bays. And like, you know, I'm starting to feel like maybe it might just be, again, Takara Tomy and how they like to sell their Beyblades, but I'm starting there is kind of a lack of soul. I can see what
this has been an issue with the random boosters. It's kind of a non-issue as well, but it's been kind of a thing with random boosters forever. So I mean, if you go back to the first or random booster volume 3 back in Metal Fight, what was cool is that you had like the Stardust Pegasus, right? But then you had just the same thing where you'd have like what is this? Flame Wolf or something, and then Wolf was purple. You had some pretty putrid recolors there as well. So I get people being like, oh, it's too simple. Like there's people that are like, you know, we need stickers back because it's too simple and it looks kind of bland and boring. But stuff definitely heats up over time, right? Like that Valkyrie V1 is super bland looking now, right? Pegasus is also super basic and bland, right? And then it kind of heated up as time went on. I just definitely disagree with the kind of the lack of soul thing, and I think that also comparing it to previous generations is kind of unfair. because comparison is kind of the thief of joy, you know. So, but even if and whenever you compare it to stuff you're nostalgic to, it's unfair as well, right? Like, I think my GameCube is way cooler than the Switch is. But if I play a game on my GameCube, it's kind of a horrible experience for the most part, at least compared to what I'm used to now and how easy stuff is now.
It's 'cause you're not playing on Wii.
But Cobalt Dragoon, I think, is a great example. And I'm gonna try and send you a picture while I don't know if I have the picture still. But there was in that video where Takara Tomy showed off like a kind of showed off Cobalt Dragoon more. I know we're talking about Black Shell now, but just kind of this quick side tangent. They showed a side-by-side comparison of Dran's sword and Cobalt Dragoon, and there is a really huge difference in detail, in the design of everything, and the design of the gear motif, right? So stuff is just kind of heating up over time, and I'm starting to get to the point where I feel like people who say that X has a lack of soul honestly might be disliking it kind of on purpose, or they like previous generations more, not because the previous generations were better, but because those life experiences you remember more fondly than they probably were. Because Metal Fight had some major issues, Burst had some major issues, and I just don't think this soul aspect is an issue with Beyblade X. But that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, no, I think my issue with it in general, like, I'm nostalgic for Metal Fight and everything, but if, like, looking at it objectively, like, there are things about Metal Fight that I don't like. Like, I do have a soft spot for the Metal Fight designs because I grew up with it, but the battles are boring. I hate making Metal Fight videos. That's why I don't do them. That's why, I wanted to, but it just sucks the soul out of me to sit down and record a Metal Fight video alone. And, I mean, Burst was kind of fun, but again, sort of the same issue. I did, like, record a couple of things and edit them up, but they just never went anywhere. And, X was very exciting when it first came out because of the battles and everything and the action. And I did think that there were a lot of inspired designs. And I do think that it's not completely soulless, but there are things about it that are starting to get bland. And again, it could just be the way that Takara Tomy releases them. But, I mean, it might just be my issue right now where I'm kind of in a weird spot with Beyblade. But, I mean, I definitely do think that Dragoon looks fantastic. I do see a lot more in that than I do everything else that's sitting in front of us. I see the obvious Draciel inspiration in Shell, and, the colors are very popping on the Japanese Giants baseball team Dragoon, or Dragger, Dirty Dan that's sitting there. And I look at the ones in the back.
Dan.
I look at the ones in the back, and I'm just like,
That's just kind of how random boosters are.
Yeah,
right.
That's fair.
Because whenever you're
They're
buying
weird.
a random booster, it's if really maybe not for us because we have to buy them online and whatever. But like if you were going to the store and say Hasbro brought these in, really, you are really only your goal is to get the prize. So it's kind of like pulling like even for like trading cards, right? Like for Pokemon cards, like you want that secret rare Charizard in a Pokemon pack, but the chance of you getting that's really low. I mean, lower than Beyblade, but the idea is the same. But you still might get some GX cards or whatever that aren't really as good. They're not worth as much, and that's what the Unicorn Sting is. That's what the Viper Tail is. And then for Metal Fight, that's what this purple flame
the
wolf
fugly wolf
would be.
Yeah, no.
Or this white rock bull or whatever, they're just kind of little extra things that you could have, but they're supposed to kind of be the bottom tier of everything.
Yeah.
Because that's not really the Bay wasn't designed with these colors. So I get what you're saying. I'm definitely really interested to see, because this is still season 1, so this is still kind of like pre-hybrid wheel sort. I mean, it's different because it actually has an anime, so it's not. But
So weird.
all things considered, this is the first lineup. So what will, next year's stuff look like, or even December's releases?
Yeah.
It could even be October, because October or November is when season 1 ends, right?
Yeah.
The anime ends. So
Yeah.
will we see more stuff like Cobalt Dragoon? Will we see an actual system revision? And I think that's when especially you'll see a lot of the Beyblade X sucks, Beyblade Burst was better. You'll see maybe those people come back. Because Burst had that too. Where,
Yeah.
oh, Beyblade Burst sucks, Metal Fight was better. My Diablo Nemesis can trash this Valkyrie V1 garbage.
Yeah.
And then come season 2, or even, Beyblade Burst God, those people kind of came back as like a, this is actually heating up a little bit. So
I think
I'm interested to see how the future seasons will affect your view of Beyblade.
I think this could also just be an issue with the way that things are sold in Japan versus America. When you're in a store in America, you know exactly what you're going to be getting when you pick any box off the shelf. If it says Dronzer on it, you're getting Dronzer. If it says Optimus Primal, you're getting Optimus Primal, and I think Starscream comes with it. Whereas Japan, they like to do the gacha system, and that's a very big thing over there. So they do this to, get other parts out and to, do re-releases and everything. So I think that definitely gives a bit of an insight to, like, the culture differences between Beyblade in Japan and Beyblade in the US. So maybe when these come to the US, and when we have, a revision maybe in season 2, and when that starts hitting, maybe my opinion will be a bit different on it, but kind of an interesting dichotomy there. But in terms of,
I think that
Mhm.
oh, sorry, keep going.
I was gonna finish it off, but you have something else.
Oh, I was gonna say that pretty much wraps up the random booster. For the most part, I mean, I think that this random booster has. I mean, the prize is the prize, whether you like it or not. I think the idea of it's cooler than the actual thing, so I'm pretty sure it'll be kind of forgotten over the next couple of months as soon as this, whoa, it's Draciel, kind of wears off,
Yeah.
Because Cobalt Dragoon is like, whoa, it's Dragoon.
And it's
Dragoon's
left spin.
better than Draciel. Sorry, but Dragoon's
That's
better.
facts.
It's left spin. It's actually probably going to be good. It's going to have a big impact to the meta, so we're going to be hearing about it for a while. It's also used by, there's a little bit of a spoiler, a little 3. And it's not really a spoiler, okay, but just in case, it's used by Chrome.
Yeah.
Who's a major character. But the rest of it, just is kind of seems like every other random booster, where it's just kind of recolors that are neither good nor bad of existing things.
Mid at best.
But the parts you get here are good with Rush, Hexa, Phoenix Wing. Even if you don't like the color, it's good. Wizard Rod, even if it looks like a monster can, it's still a good part. So there are a lot of banger. Unicorn Sting, I think is fun to battle with. It's not. I don't know if it's that good, but at the end of the day, it's a solid enough random, better than Wyvern Gale random booster.
Yeah.
I think it's better than that one. I think that random booster was pretty trash, but this one's fine. I'll give it like a 3 out of 5.
Yeah,
3.2 out of 5.
That's fair. But yeah, Elliot Juice, any closing thoughts on Black Shell and RB4?
Yeah, I got some, but if Elliot wants to go first.
Nope, all you Jews. I'll close it out once you're done.
So back to Black Shell and its name. Obviously it makes sense. The turtle, it has a black shell. But I was thinking for Draciel and all that, it's based on the full same beast in Chinese mythology. I forget the name, but its name in the Japanese show is called Genbu. I thought maybe they could have went something like that for the Japanese names of those beasts.
Yeah.
But because again, it is a black shell avatar, but it's gonna have other renditions of the avatar being different colored. Like we already have the yellow one, and clearly it's not a black shell. I just feel like it's a little bit silly naming it that unless they kept the shell black in every single, new rendition of the blade. Like for an example, like with the back to Dragoon as well. I just because like the rest of them, it mentions Dragoon, but the rest of them won't mention the other names because we already have Vice Tiger, which it's weird that the avatar is called Vice, but the blade is tiger, even though the avatar is a tiger. It's a little confusing in my opinion.
I think the naming schemes for Beyblade X are a bit of a hit or miss at best.
Right. And like for Dragoon, it's like the Azure Dragon. It's Seiru, something like that. And Phoenix is Zuzaku. I forget Trigger's one, but yeah, I just thought maybe like a different name scheme would have been better in my opinion. Because like,
And
the
it's
avatar is just
interesting,
black,
And
the
that's what's odd
the blade is
too.
shell. Sorry.
That's what's odd too, because it's like for every other bay, right? It goes like with Viper Tail, it goes motif and then like weapon or something it uses, right?
Yeah.
But then with Cobalt Drake, kind of changed that because it was like special. But for Cobalt, like it's like a color, so it's like color and then motif. I think Vice is white, right? So it's like white tiger.
Yeah.
I assume the next Phoenix is gonna because Phoenix Wing doesn't count. Like that's not so.
No.
The next Phoenix, if it's whether a Phoenix Sacred Beast or if they change it up to be something else, it's gonna have to be like vermilion or whatever, like a red color is, like a red Phoenix, which is kind of lame.
Vermilion drawn.
But yeah,
red
something
blaze
like
coming.
that, right? But yeah, I thought Black Shell because we heard that name a little while ago. I thought that was like a code
Right.
name.
Yeah, me
to be
too.
honest.
I didn't think that.
Yeah,
was...
we
It's-
also thought it was a code name.
Yeah.
It's so on the nose. It's like Blue Dragon, but it's not Blue Dragon. It's Cobalt Dragoon.
Blue Eyes White
Or
That's a good
White
show, by the way.
White Tiger. It's Vice Tiger. But Black Shell, you think it'd be Black whatever.
Oh my god. Okay, I see what they're doing. Yeah, I completely forgot that Vice was white. You just mentioned that.
But it doesn't make
So,
sense here because
yeah.
Draciel was always green. So like, why would
No,
they?
It
Draciel's
was
never
black
green.
shell.
Just
It was black
Draciel's-
shell.
Draciel's black and purple.
Oh.
The turtle itself is purple in the old one. Green was just the
And the
blade.
shell's black.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they didn't even bring the purple in here.
Unfortunately, no.
That
Yeah. So
The
like
next
a
random
purple
booster
bit
color.
would be cool. Yeah.
maybe we'll get purple on another one, but
That's what I was saying. Like they could keep the shell black because that's what it's the black shell. Because
Kind of
that's
a
like
missed
Genbu
opportunity,
is the
you're
black
right.
tortoise of the north in the thing, the mythology and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like a
that's
Hasbro
about
name. It honestly seems like a Hasbro simplified name.
yeah.
But yeah.
Also, like back to Drake as well. The Drake name goes both ways for the Avatar and the Blade. I thought it could have been both at the time, but now it's just stuck at Cobalt. So then
Which is
No,
interesting.
everything's
It's like what happens to
Cobalt.
Drake? What happens to Drake? Like that
the Blade, it's gone.
it's
It's done.
There was no
because
more
Drake is
The
like a type of a
Avatar
dragon.
evolved.
Nope, Drake
You
is
know?
dead. Rip Drake.
Rip Drake.
We're gonna
So
put
then
Lying
the Phoenix
dead.
one
We're
is
just-
going to be a word on red, right? Is that what we're theorizing?
Oh yeah, the Dronzer one. It's gonna have to be like vermilion. I think
Crimson wing.
Crimson will be cool, but I'm pretty sure
Ooh.
Vermilion was like leaked or something, but I don't know.
Oh.
But I think in the leak it was white. It was White Tiger, but it ended up being Vice.
Right.
Yeah.
And it could be called White Tiger for Hasbro.
That'd be
but-
sick.
Mhm.
I feel like that would take a
Um,
lot of the soul out of it,
yeah.
though.
Red bird.
And it did clearly say Vice, Vice in the big
Yeah.
list that we got a while ago.
Okay. Now,
Mm.
now with all that information, it does make more sense to me now that what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like Dragoon, obviously Dragon. It is a blue dragon. It's a Cobalt Dragon. White
Mhm.
Tiger. It is a White Tiger in the Avatar. Black Shell. It's okay. I get it now.
Yeah.
I was a little behind on that, but it still bothered me a little bit.
Good clarification. Glad we all got that out of our system. We all know what the next naming scheme's going to be. Shells are not always black, supposedly, which I really do think could have been a big play, because that could have been a great accent on that bit beast for the yellow one. If it was the black shell, it was pretty cool. But I guess they're just gonna
Right, like, if
recopy
they
all
just
the
kept it
same
black.
bit beast colorways, and they're just gonna literally copy and paste the same red background, yellow bit beast, and everything. But if that is everyone's immune system is cleansed of black shellness, I think we will wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Juice, and Jake
was
Illinuk,
interesting.
for hanging out.
Thanks for having us.
Archaeological dive. Going down under into the black shell of the abyss.
I regret agreeing to
Oh
being here.
no, the black shell of the abyss.
All right, so that's it for the Blade Dragons for this episode. Blade Dragons and Jake and Juice out.
See ya.